Asylum Nunc Tunc simply means now for then. In this video, I am going to be talking about Asylum Nunc Tunc. My name is Bijoux Ngwanda. I'm an immigration lawyer based here in DC. I do work with individuals across the country and around the world because we're dealing with complex U.S. immigration laws. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing. And please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. If you enjoy the content, again, please go ahead and share, like, and don't forget to comment below. Also, please don't forget to join us on our private Facebook group where we answer questions live at least once a week or twice a month. Okay, let's get right into it. So what is Asylum Nunc Tunc? It's basically when a beneficiary of an asylee lost their status of asylee and then cannot adjust status based on the fact that something has happened that is not their fault, but we're going to go ahead and explain it. So we know that you may apply for adjustment of status after 1 year of being granted asylum, either by court or USCIS, provided that you are a beneficiary of an asylee, which means you are the spouse or the child and you are physically present in the United States at the time the principal was granted asylum, right? So you are the beneficiary. Let's assume that you are the beneficiary. The principal was granted asylum, and now after 1 year, you want to adjust your status, but you find yourself ineligible to adjust status because something has happened outside of your control. The question becomes, can you still adjust status in this video? So that's what we are going to be talking about. So what can trigger Nunc-Tunc asylum application? It's basically when there is termination of marriage with principal asylee. Assuming that you are the spouse of the asylee, and then who is the principal and you were just a beneficiary because you are the spouse and you're physically present at the time the asylum was granted. And after the asylum was granted, the person that you were under decided to terminate the marriage with you. So it's not your fault that the marriage has terminated, but because you were the beneficiary and now it's time for you to adjust status, you go there, they say you cannot adjust status. What are you going to do? You're going to apply for asylum Nunc-Tunc on your own. So basically you're going to have your own separate claim of asylum. And once that one is granted, then you can go ahead and adjust status. Okay, but they're going to take you back to the, let's say, for example, if the 1 year has already, you have already met the requirement for the 1 year in terms of adjusting status, then they're gonna really just grant you that 1 year. But first you have to apply for asylum Nunc-Tunc on your own because now that your eligibility is in doubt because the marriage has been terminated. So that's one case. Another case is the death of principal asylee. The principal, and you're the spouse or the child of the principal who was granted asylum. Basically, you're the beneficiary, and that person dies. What are you going to do? And the person dies prior to you adjusting status. Remember that you have 1 year to wait before you adjust status. Even if, let's say, you waited 1 year, but you couldn't adjust status after 1 year, the second year you want to go ahead and adjust status. But because the principal really just passed away, your eligibility to adjust status is in question because you're no longer the principal because you're no longer the beneficiary because the principal has passed away What are you going to do? Again, you go back to the same thing. You apply for asylum non-protunct on your own merit, and once it's granted, then you go ahead and adjust status. Another case is the marriage of the relative child. The principal gets granted asylum, and you are the child, you are the beneficiary. Remember that within 1 year, you're supposed to adjust status. Maybe something happened and you didn't adjust status within that 1 year period of time to change to become a U.S. citizen. And then you get married. So pretty much you have lost your position as the beneficiary of the asylee. So you have no right to go ahead and adjust status because you wanted to adjust status under. Remember, you're adjusting status because you are the beneficiary of the asylee. But now you got married, so you're no longer a child for the purpose of adjustment of status and for the purpose of being the beneficiary. So you have to pretty much go back to USCIS and apply for asylum non-protunct. Hope it get granted. Of course, it's going to get granted, provided that you know how to argue your case, and then later on go and adjust status. Another scenario, I believe the fourth one or the last one, could be that the naturalization of the principal asylee. So which means that the principal become a U.S. citizen prior to you adjusting status. What are you going to do when you go back to USCIS? Remember, when the principal decides to become a U.S. citizen, it means that time has already lapsed, right? So, and you had 1 year to adjust status, but you didn't do it. It has to be, the fault is not yours, right? So, and you didn't do it. Now the beneficiary, the principal is a U.S. citizen. He's no longer in the asylee category or refugee category. So you can't just go and adjust status because the principal has lost their status of asylee or refugee. So you, because you're the beneficiary, you couldn't do it within time frame. Now you're stuck. What are you going to do? Again, asylum non-protunct. You have to apply for your own asylum on your own merit, claiming that you were the beneficiary, and now the principal has became a U.S. Citizen and lost their refugee status. So that's how it's going to play out. I know it's very complicated because you really have to make an argument and hope that USCIS understand that it's not your fault that you did not adjust status within that 1 year window of time. And then hopefully they grant you your own asylum. Then you can go ahead and adjust status. Very complicated matters, you know. Again, those are immigration matters. Sometimes it gets complex. Sometimes they're just as simple. Sometimes your own mistakes make it really hard for USCIS to basically decide on your favor. So that's why it's always good to consult with a qualifying attorney. If you do not have one, you can call 22751-2180, email bijoux.ngwandaesq@gmail.com. Consultation fees apply. You can also schedule your consultation by clicking the link below in the description box. You can schedule on your own time. Until next time, bye-bye.